And so I'm familiar with everything that's going on, but I have not ordered your things yet. I am in contact with Gidris um, here in the Chicago area. He lives
Oh yeah.
outside of Chicago. So
Hmm.
I met with him last week. So I'm very excited about this. Um, my problem is I'm married to a doctor.
You mean your challenge?
My challenge, yes. And I have a little problem in my uterus. I've got some atypical cells in my uterus, and it's been since June. I've had 3 biopsies, one just a month ago, and they're still atypical cells. And of course, they think that there's cancer there, and they want to do a hysterectomy. And I'm just really opposed to cutting my uterus out. I am postmenopausal a couple of years, and I just want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. I mean, he's just so afraid that I'm going to get cancer and it's going to spread, and it's bad news. But I'm very confident that this just takes a little bit longer time and to heal. And I'm switching over from thinking about doing a grape fast to getting on your program here, and the idea of giving up, it seems like food forever after doing breatharian retreat and being fruitarian for about 5 months now. Just any comments? I just want to know I'm on track, and I don't need to get a hysterectomy.
Well, what do you believe?
Well, I don't believe it at all.
You think that by removing body parts, that's going to solve your issue?
No, I don't,
Yeah.
but he does.
Yeah. So we have all these parts in our body that our Creator gave them to us, and by thinking that you're going to resolve any imbalance issue, and by removing things that are vital part of our design, is ludicrous. Ludicrous. It doesn't solve anything. It only creates more problems and more imbalance. That's all it does. Just talk to people who've gone through these and look at what they're going through. So, you have to decide, you believe that your body...
I've decided. I don't have a strong enough argument of why friends of mine have also had this problem or fibroids or something like that, and they're like, just take it out. We don't need it anymore. And I'm totally committed to going the long route with health and doing it the long way and much harder way.
There's no long or short way. There's only one way to bring a body back to balance, and it ain't through modern medicine.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no way. You're talking about a connection to your spirit to find balance versus butchery. You can't compare the two. It's just two completely different things. One is man-made illusion in the matter state, and the other is a connection to your Creator, to your perfection of a way that it's in their design to allow the body to restore itself and find balance again. So there's just nothing to do with each other. Now, to try and convince other people, if that's what your worry is,
yes,
then that is not something that is going to benefit you to bring balance in your body, because that's an issue for you. You're trying to satisfy other people instead of going within and allowing what your body's designed to do, to heal itself. It's built in. It's just like as you have a little cut and it heals. If it's a deep cut, you go to the doctor, they put some stitches on there, and the doctor didn't do anything to heal you, but your body healed it. In the olden days, they didn't use stitches. They used herbs and all that kind of wraps and everything. You wouldn't have any scars. There's people who still know these old ways of using herbs. Today that we've been taken so far away from our natural design, most people are just riddled in fear because we go to the doctors and they have their opinions and what we need to do and blah, blah, blah. And most people believe that because that's what we've been brought up with. So,
Right. Yeah. I'm just a little depressed because the meeting with the doctor was yesterday, so it's all scare tactics about
exactly.
this
He's got a mortgage to pay.
and arguments with him right now. So normally I'm very, very excited and very happy about what I'm doing. It's really exciting for me. There's just, these arguments about, the blood supply and, traveling, especially because I've gotten 3 biopsies and I don't want to do this so often, but, I need a little bit of confirmation that it's not getting out of hand. And I don't know when I want to do the next one. I had one a month ago. But the idea that it's going to spread because of the blood supply. And, I'm very well acquainted with the whole lymph system and all that with Dr. Morse. So I don't know what I'm asking right now. It's just been a heck of a day, that's all.
Yeah, nobody can decide for you. You have to do some more research and find your path. Nobody can decide anything to make you believe one way or the other. If you're going to be influenced by fear, fear will only eat you up. That's all it's going to do. Knowledge is power, and that's where you get your confidence, your trust, and your faith, and the connection
Right.
to your spirit and your soul to say, are you prepared to go through this and find balance, or are you going to go through being influenced by fear and going down that route? Maybe that's what your experience here is, or maybe it isn't. Everybody is here for different reasons and different experiences.
No, I don't want to be that. It's really mostly today and yesterday. But I am a little concerned about the the sort of hard to find testimonials, and he is concerned about why there's not collected data if there's so many healings.
You're on the wrong place. You're on the wrong place.
Place.
If you're looking for science and you're looking for paper, I'm sorry, you're in the wrong place. You have to find it within yourself. We can't help you. We're not into paper. We're working with fields. We're working with spirit and soul. And there's a knowing when you're going down the path, or there's not a knowing. I'm not one that will even go down the route of the matter state crap. It's only the effect they're looking at in matter state has nothing to do with what's happening with the soul.
Only the effect.
Everything happens with the emotion and intent on the soul level. Your body is a reflection of your emotion and intent, not the other way around. So when you can solve that problem, the physicality has to correct itself. It has no choice. If you're looking for a piece of paper and scientific evidence, I'm sorry, can't help you.
And testimonial? No.
We got tons of testimonials on our Facebook.
Maybe it was that Facebook was down. There was only one up. Maybe that was part of the problem. I heard there was a problem with
from the ones I've collected, and there's so many I didn't collect, but there's people posting amazing things happening all the time. I think you just need to do some more research. We're going to go on with Ashley now. Ashley, are you on?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yep.
Maybe yes.
Woo! I'm so sorry. Thank God my stepdaughter's computer is working properly.
All right, we got. Let's start over again and see where you're at.
Okay.
Basically, I was asking a little bit of your background and what made you decide to come this route and start your path for the 7 to 9 year journey, which is a lifetime commitment. There's no one class that's going to solve everybody's issues.
Right.
But we go through metamorphosis in 108 days, that's for sure.
Oh my grace.
As you have.
Yes. Absolutely. Got a long way to go, but I feel great about how far I've come so far. um, okay, so I'll be 40 this year, and I'm from South Alabama. I was raised in the South, eating meat, milk, eggs, and cheese, and had really bad addictions, as long as I can remember, with sugar particularly and cheese. So
All the good stuff.
oh, absolutely. I would sneak and hide and eat extra. When I got a driver's license, I was so excited because I could take off and go get all these M&Ms and all this junk and go to all these fast food, and nobody had to know about it. So I was always teeny tiny, like 5 feet tall, weighing 100 pounds, eating everything under the sun, because, you know, that's how youth is. You stay small. And the older I got, the weight started coming on more and more and more. And I found myself at almost 40, weighing 258 pounds at 5 feet tall, having chest pain, having hormonal imbalances, having blood sugar issues, and I just was scared that I was going to die, you know? I went vegan about 7 years ago, but I was a junk food vegan. I didn't do it for me. I did it for them. So I'm saving animals left and right and killing myself because I'm eating the same thing. I'm eating the standard American diet, vegan, you know? So, but even during that 7 year time, I still knew I want to get healthy. I want to do right, but I just couldn't find the right path of what made me happy to eat because I didn't want to eat salads all day long and vegetables all day long. I've always been more drawn to fruit than vegetables, and I understand that now. But, you know, your whole life you're told, oh, eat your veggies and fruit's bad and it makes you fat and it, you know, all this stuff. So last year, about April, I found a testimony of a guy that lost like 200 pounds being a raw vegan. And I thought, man, I really wish I could do that. But there is no way I could be a raw vegan. That's crazy. So, of course, I started networking and meeting other raw vegans. And this other girl was like, you know, she was posting her testimony. And I said, I wish I could do like you. And she said, trust me, you can. And so I thought, all right, I'm going to do this. So starting on July 24th, started my raw mission. And it was hard because at first I was just trying to do raw till 4, but I was still eating all this terrible junk at night. And I kept falling off the bandwagon and falling off the bandwagon and falling off the bandwagon. And I spoke with Sid, and she told me that I was never going to be able to stick with raw foods until I did a proper cleanse and got my body clean. And of course, she's talking about Master Fast. So I had already tapped into that. I'd been stalking the group for a couple weeks. And of course, I thought that sounded like a great idea too, but I thought, I did an 8-day juice fast one time, and I couldn't believe I made it 8 days. I'm like, there's no way I could not eat for that long. So anyway, she's like, you got to do it. Then you'll be able to, you know, stick to the raw. I'm like, this is my life. It's life or death. I have small children. I just got to suck it up and do this and just make the best of it. So I start gathering supplies. I decide I'm going to start on December the 1st. The strange thing is how easy it was. Honest to God. I mean, I thought it was going to be a struggle. I thought I was going to be hungry. I thought I was going to be crabby. And it just wasn't hard. And I'm cooking for my family every night, and I cook delicious vegan food. So it's not like I'm cooking meat that I don't want to eat. It's good stuff. And it smelled wonderful. And I enjoyed the aroma, but I was fine. I didn't want to eat it. I didn't froth at the mouth. I didn't feel sorry for myself because I couldn't have it. That was all very surprising to me. I kind of figured that I could suck it up for the 108 days, but I thought it was going to be a pity party and I was going to be miserable and everybody was going to know how miserable I was. But it wasn't like that. I mean, it's just the most amazing thing. And the path, you know, there were things that were scary, but that's life. I think when you start learning about Master Fast and you realize that literally everything you know, you have to now question. Okay? And I'd already gone vegan, so I'd already gone through a level of this, questioning the things you've been taught. So now it's on an even deeper level. But, you know, the enemas terrified me at first. And the first one went terrible because my body wasn't used to it. It didn't take any time for me to figure out a system that worked. And it was fine. It's just new. And if it's new, you have to be patient because it will work out, you know? I had a really hard time with the pudding. That was frustrating, but I was doing some stuff wrong. I didn't realize I was supposed to be using the powdered stuff. So once, yes, I was using the psyllium husks. Well, once I got switched over to the powder, I figured out a system where I could consume it without gag, because I'd even reached out to you because I'm like, I don't know what to do. I have to get this in my body, and I can't get it in my body because I gag and throw up when I try to take it. And I finally figured if I use the powder and if I mix it, I would mix that into the grape juice, and then I would have a chaser shot of prune juice. I don't know what it was about the prune juice. I don't know if it's just so loud. And I would hold my nose, slam the stuff as fast as I could, and keep holding my nose while I slam my chaser of prune juice. Problem solved. But it took forever to figure that out. That's why I'm looking forward to my September 15th 108-day Master Fast, because I learned so much. And I think a lot of times in life, you just have to figure stuff out on your own. You can ask questions and read material all day long, but what's going to work for one isn't going to work for another. But that stuff is important because you cannot get that junk out in your body if you don't have that pudding going in you. And I mean, there were days that I was doing good to get any of it down. I tried making those fruit leathers. That didn't help me. I mean, I was so desperate. And I got to a point where I was like, can I just put it in an enema? And I'm like, no, that's not going to work. I wouldn't throw up, but it's not going to, it's not going to do anything to function. But I cannot describe how amazing that whole journey was. I could not get over it. It was so much more awesome than I expected it to be. The transformation, I mean, I never would have guessed, ever would have guessed the transformation. And people that see me now that haven't seen me in 6 months are just taken aback. Like, whoa, what is going on? Did you get the surgery? No. And my husband harassed me about that when I was starting Master Fast. He's like, look, you keep trying everything left and right. Nothing works. You lose 10 pounds and you get discouraged. And I'm like, but this isn't a weight loss thing. I said, this is a not die thing. I said, I am going to lose weight because it's just part of, it's a side effect. Sadly, there's some people that don't want to lose the weight. I can't relate. I lose all this weight and everybody says I look great. All these other people are hiding under layers of clothes hoping no one notices. So that's my thing. It's easier to start Master Fast fast because nobody judges you for weight loss. They applaud you. But he said, well, you have to promise me that you're going to have that surgery if this doesn't work. I said, this is going to work. Oh, and I said, okay, fine. If I'm still this weight in 5 years, I will have the surgery. Does that make you happy? Yes. Okay. Because he's like, you're going to die. And I'm like, I agree with you. I am going to die. I'm going to die. Definite. So, and he was a challenge throughout this whole thing because it scared him. You know, when I would have really severe kidney pain, he was checking on me during the night to make sure I was still alive because he was just so paranoid about it.
Yeah, well, it's the fear of the unknown, the ignorance of people. They just don't know, and they're just terrified. People are shaking in their shoes of anything that's beyond the so-called norm.
Oh yeah.
And once you get that knowledge and experience trumps all the people on this planet put together, the experience. So now that you've went through it, you're going to have a whole different experience, which I hope you've already set your date for the next one.
September 15th.
All right.
Because I want to end it on New Year's Eve. So that, and then I don't know how I'm going to do it after that. I really like the systems in place now where you can do like 9 days on and 18 days off, or a month on, a month. I think that's a really neat way to be able to consistently do it. Because I know for a fact I always want to be master fasting at Thanksgiving and Christmas forever. because I enjoyed Thanksgiving. I was trying to do the raw thing and I was trying to not eat, and I wound up eating a ton of food. Christmas, I was 25 days into the master fast, and I sat at the table with my pudding because it wasn't making me sick yet. And I had my pudding while everybody else ate, and I enjoyed myself. That was the first. Never, ever would I have thought I could do that.
Yeah.
So I want to avoid social situations like that, and master fast just saves you from it. So
Yeah, well, you know, now that you've come off, how long has it been since you broke the 108 days?
okay, so day 108 was, I think, March the 18th. I broke
about a month. Okay.
Right. I broke the fast on a Sunday. It was a couple days after Beauty and the Beast came out in the theater. And the first 2 or 3 weeks, I had no cravings. I had no hunger. I was doing great. I was doing my fruit, and I was bound and determined to only eat fruit until I do my next master fast. Because I'm still nervous. I'm not anywhere near a normal weight for 5 feet tall because I'm still in the 170. So I'm still big. I still have, my hormones are getting way better just because my cycles are normal now. But I've had blood sugar issues. I've never been diabetic, but I've been pre-diabetic for years. And I just know that I need to be very cautious and proceed cautiously and not do anything to goose this up. Well,
yeah. Do you have all your goals written down?
I don't have, that was a mistake I made. I didn't write the goals down for Postmaster Fast because I was going to write those down and put them on the fridge with some printouts. And we didn't have printer ink. So I didn't get those printed out, so I didn't do any of it. So I do need to do that because I think.
Yeah, we need to write your goals also for the post and generalize in your whole life and sign it in blood.
Right. And because this is scary because I've had 3 meals that did not keep me with fruit. And guess what? I did not feel, and it wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't what I would have treated myself to in a former life, but my stomach was not happy with it. My body, I didn't feel great. And I'm like, my gosh. And this, this is nori and avocado and coconut aminos. And my body's not happy. But I hadn't had fat in forever, any fat at all. Mm-hmm. And my body just freaked out. Like, what is this?
Well, what's happened is your senses come to life and you can feel now.
But I don't want
to. Your body's talking to you. It's saying, what are you doing? So it's good. It's communication.
Right.
Falling off is no big deal. It's not an issue. This is how you learn. Sometimes we have to fall 2, 3, 4, maybe 10, 20 times until we finally say, okay, I think I got it now. And that's okay. Right. And that's okay.
Well, but that's why I would like to start back even before I start my next real master fast. I want to go ahead and try the 9 days on and 18 days off and just see if it helps me. Maybe there's a combination of that will work for me.
Yep.
Because my first thought, the first time I goofed, I'm like, man, am I just going to have to do the master fast permanently? Because I really don't want to do it. I love watermelon. I don't want to never have watermelon again. But I would rather do master fast permanently than goof up and not get where I need to be.
Yeah.
My mother is 70, and she's the other reason I'm doing this. She has chronic UTIs. She's in the hospital right now. She cannot stand, walk, or do anything else without 100% assistance. And this just started over the last 18 months. I take care of her and my small kids. And every day seeing her, she would tell me, oh, you're so skinny. And I'm like, I wish you would do what I'm doing. I really do. Because the reason I'm doing this is you. Because I don't want to be like you at 70 or 80 or 90 or 150. I don't want to be like this. Because it's tragic. And at the hospital, they did something and said that she has water on her brain that might be causing all of it. But it's like she was addicted to Diet Coke, literally drank Diet Coke 24/7 for 30 years. Meat, milk, eggs, and cheese left and right, tons of ice cream, every bad thing. She's always just
and we see what happens, the results, right? You know,
Right.
what your dry fasting schedule during the 108 days and now, are you keeping that going?
I was, but I've slipped back on that too. Because what I wanted during Master Fast, I would typically do 16 hours, sometimes like 14, sometimes like 18, but I would shoot for 8 p.m. to noon. And I was in a rhythm with that. And there were times I would be out and wouldn't get home until 2 p.m. And it was fine, you know. And I never got good at doing the long ones weekly, but most of my weekly ones were 32 hours. My longest one was like 66 hours.
Wow.
But I anticipated keeping up with that without fail. I have been so bad the last week and a half about doing that. I would say at night, I haven't even been doing, well, probably been doing at least 12 hours a night. But I haven't done a weekly one in a couple of weeks. And that's something I know I need to keep up with too.
Yeah.
I feel the best when I dry fast, especially those long ones. It doesn't make any sense. It is the craziest thing I've ever experienced, that you feel that good, you have that much energy, and it's like, I'm just never going to eat or drink anything ever again. But obviously we can't literally do that forever, but it feels so good.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you something, that champagne, when I drink it before the fast, or what is it called now? Master Fast Bubbly?
Yeah.
When I drink it before the fast, I'm like, ugh, I don't like this stuff. Man, when it's time to break that dry fast, that is the most heavenly concoction ever. It's funny, perspective. But dry fasting, I mean, obviously it's a great thing, but it's so powerful. I mean, it really is so, so powerful. And that scares people too. What? You're not drinking anything? People die in 2 days. And I'm like, no, they don't, because there's people crazier than me doing this for days and days and weeks. You don't die.
Exactly.
But the body has to acclimate, and I understand that, because I look forward to being the one doing 5 days and 7 days and 12 days, but I know I'm a long way. Because I guarantee you, for my age, I am way more toxic than a normal person, because I can't tell you how much stuff I consume, like icing, pound of straight icing, just squeezed cheese. I mean, I might not have been hooked on Diet Coke, but I was bad hooked on dairy and sugar, big time.
Yeah.
So I'm bad off, really.
Yeah, but you know, just let the past go. It's it is what it is.
You must have good genes to be able to, survive.
I agree with that because my mom's family seems to have good genes, so somehow it balanced itself out. But
yeah.
So I don't know. It's been interesting. It's interesting watching other people go through this process and learning from other people as they're going through this. And my husband, who is so scared of this, wants to do a master fast of his own in the fall, which I couldn't believe that. He's transitioning from a new vegetarian towards vegan. And, you know, it is a hard thing, and it's all between the ears. It's all between the ears. It really is. But he's made a lot of changes that I never would have expected him to do. But I'm excited for him doing the master fast, and he's not as heavy as me, but he doesn't have any health problems yet, but he's 43, 44, and you know, the older you get, the less forgiving your body is. So I want us both to get healthy together so that we can enjoy life, retirement down the line.
Yeah, the thing is, you know, a lot of people live to eat, and you know, we're trying to show let's eat to live. So
Right.
And less is more. You know, you need to really focus and keep those dry fasting schedules. Very important, very important. Like you were saying, you know, maybe you want to dabble in going 9 days on and 18 days off. See how that works. Maybe that that'll ring with you. Just try different things. Find what's going to keep you on the balance. And the dry fasting, you got to never let that go. Because that's your resets. The dry is your resets. Without those
I never would have imagined. I mean, never would have imagined that I would have let that go. Because I mean, that was like a system that I had down, and especially the weekly. But I think the weekly ones I always did on Mondays, and I think Sunday night is just such a busy time for me to try to take care of everybody else and then get myself prepped to go dry. And by the time, if I'm going dry at 10 or 12 or 2, it affects how easy that dry fast is going to be for me. So the earlier I do it, if I do it by 8 p.m., it makes life easier. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it does.
Whatever works for you.
Right. So,
so what weight did you start and what weight did you end?
okay. So I started at 238 because I'd lost a little bit of weight just from dabbling around with the raw.
Mm-hmm.
I started at 238, and did I end maybe at 180 or somewhere in there? It was 55 pounds.
During
Right, during the actual master fast, that 108 days, I lost 55 pounds.
Wow. And you've seen all kinds of stuff coming out?
You know, I did not have as crazy the mucoid plaque as other people. You know, I had so much stinking mucus.
Oh.
Mucus.
Oh.
I had bad, constant like runny nose and blowing out snot, going through tissues like you would not believe. And people, oh, you're sick. No, I'm not sick. I'm just draining all this mucus.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. And I had lots of acid. Like I constantly felt heartburn. And I'm like, you know, I haven't had heartburn since I was pregnant. Even eating poorly, I don't know why, but as a vegan, even poor diet, I didn't really get heartburn.
Mm-hmm.
But I was very frequently mixing up some juice with a half a teaspoon of baking soda because it burned so much. I mean, it was amazing. Constant burning, constant snot, constant mucus in the poop. I mean, and I did see parasites. I'm not brave enough to poop in a colander and dig through it. I can't handle that. So I'm sure I missed a whole lot of goodies. But even without doing that, I still saw worms.
Did you do enemas or?
Yes, I did. And I got a Colamabord at the end.
Nice.
Which it's so much. I prefer it, but the problem is it takes so long. I told my husband he needs to mount the tank higher up on the wall because I have it on the back of the toilet tank.
Yeah. And
it takes forever. So, but it's easier, it's more comfortable for me, and it's more simple to do. But I think even doing that, I would still do enemas too. But I have to do the enema in the bathtub to be comfortable. I'll do it in like 2 or 3 inches of warm water. Because that's what works for me. But the enemas, I was surprised after I was done with the master fast. I didn't expect to need the enemas because I was pooping like crazy again. So the first enema I did, I'm like, what is this? I've been pooping all day. What is all this? You know, I was not expecting that. That was a shocker to me.
Bowels,
if I can, what's that?
Better?
Huh?
Your bowels are working better?
I mean, I've always been a pooper. I mean, I've always been a 2, 3, 4 times a day pooper, regardless. I don't know why. My husband's the same way, and it's not like we were eating roughage and fiber all day. But I did notice, this is crazy. Now, the poops on the master fast did not. They were stinky. But after I broke the fast, my poops don't smell like anything anymore. They just are odorless, and that is so cool. I don't stink anymore. I don't wear deodorant anymore. I mean, and I've been a stinky, sweaty girl my whole life, and I don't sweat like I used to. I mean, I guess some of that's weight, but no, but even when I was thin, I was a heavy sweater years ago. So I don't know.
Kidneys.
So, I mean, all kinds of positive things have come, you know, like even stuff I wasn't looking at, like the athlete's foot that I had on my foot for years and years and years. And then one night I looked at my foot and I thought, "God, my foot hadn't been itching." And I'm like, what? This looks like it went away. And I had a toenail fungus on the same one, and it's growing out. Crazy. I wasn't even worried about that. That's not, you know, you can live with athlete's foot. I was worried about dying. So it's just interesting, all the things that I would notice that were going away, changing, getting better over the course.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
So
Besides the weight thing, did you have any other issues? Like you just mentioned a couple right now with the toenail, the toes and the fungus and so on, but any other issues that you had?
like medical diagnoses type things.
Oh, whatever, yeah.
Well, I mean, I've had borderline borderline diabetes for 10 or 12 years. And it's interesting. What's that?
Any other aches and pains or stuff?
Oh, God. That's a really big one. I had severe leg pain. I mean, severe leg pain. And it started, I don't know, a year or a year and a half ago. If I would sit down for 30 minutes or longer, when I stood up, it would hurt to walk. It was so funny to walk. So, of course, I'm like, oh, God, I'm not even diabetic yet, and I have neuropathy or, whatever. Well, when I would get out of bed in the morning, I couldn't balance. I would be falling backwards and stumbling around and not able to stand up. It would take me like a good 90 seconds or however long.
Wow.
That went away fast, though. Like, the pain, I mean, that was my main pain thing. And that was miserable. It's hard when you wake up in the morning and you have these little kids that need you and you can't even stand up and walk. So I have no clue what that whole thing was about. But that resolved itself pretty quickly. I mean, I guess it's just acidosis, right? Like everything else.
Yeah. Any back pains you had experienced before the fast?
Back pain?
Or any other pains? Yeah, besides the leg.
I mean, I would have a lot of body pain. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia at 14.
Wow.
But it wasn't, I got into massage therapy, and once I started doing the massage stuff, it didn't bother me as much. And I think I just kind of learned some lifestyle hacks that helped it. But I would get cricks in my neck a lot. I would get fever blisters a lot. I haven't had a fever blister in forever now, too. Probably master fast. But the chest pain and stuff that I was having, making me think I was dying.
It's not a good thing.
No, it's scary. And I told somebody, I said, honestly, at 40 years old, if I didn't weigh this much and eat the way I eat, I would never think, oh, God, I'm going to die of a heart attack. But when you're fat and you eat a horrible diet and your chest hurts, it could very well be that you're about to die. So.
Yeah, people are dying every day.
Right. I mean, that was my main reason, was to prevent death by whatever, because I ate heavy fats. When I say I was addicted to sugar, I wasn't eating Jolly Ranchers. I was eating cakes and pies and icing, and it had to have sugar and fat in it. Wow. It's no wonder my blood sugar was so jacked up, not just the sugar, but all that fat, And then when I was trying to eat healthy, I was eating tons of nuts and tons of cheese and tons of it. So, I mean, so crazy, so crazy. I wish I could have learned about this years and years and years ago, let me tell you something else. I could not make enough milk for either of my children. And I guarantee you that Master Fast would have solved that. Because with my daughter, I was doing lots of tinctures and herbs and essential oils, and pumping and doing all this crazy stuff, and I could make about half of what she needed. And I didn't do near as well like that for my son. But they said it was
breastfeeding.
Yeah, breast milk.
right. And I had a breastfeeding medicine specialist, and she said it was a combination of the blood sugar issues and the hormonal issues, which have both gotten better doing this. So now I'm like, oh man, I need to have a third one now because I could probably really nurse them. Of course, my husband would not agree to such, but you know, I think it's interesting, a lot of the things I've struggled with in my life that could have been avoided if I'd found this first, you know, and I wouldn't have had gestational diabetes twice if I'd found this first. But I couldn't have told my doctor how I ate. I mean, I was scared enough to tell him I was a vegan. My class, well, do you really want to know what I ate? I don't know. That's my biggest regret. I'm glad I jumped in when I did because I didn't take a whole lot of time to sit around and dilly-dally and figure it out. I just started buying stuff. I started buying juice. I started buying my enema bag. I just got everything together and dove in. Because you know what? Even on day 108, I was still figuring stuff out. But you know what? On September the 15th,
You're ready.
it's amazing. Because I know what's going on. Because I did it 108 whole days. And you know what? Every time it's going to get easier. Because you're going to learn and grow. And your body is going to change. My body is in so much better shape now than it was on December the 1st. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
It needs to be a lifestyle. You need
Right.
the fasting part of your life.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no use starting. Keep doing what you're doing.
Right. Well, that's the thing about it is you really have to have that mindset that it's going to be a permanent thing because what's your choice? It's a waste of time otherwise.
Well,
I mean,
even when we fall off, we come back and we reset with the dry, and then we go do another master fast. So we keep resetting. Even if we fall off here and there a bit, it doesn't matter because we're constantly, cleaning up. And, this is where I really like to see people do the long one to really do a good, thorough cleaning of the GI tract. It won't clean everything out, but at least we'll get a good start. So when we start, going back to food and then we go back on the master fast, it gets easier and easier to go. Because we need to go to the real depths of the issues, which is emotion. It has nothing to do with physicality. and this is where a lot of us, when we go back to food, after we've cleaned all those attached emotions in the matter and within our GI tract and every cell, we freak out and want to eat everything and anything because there's something trying to pull us back to where we came from.
right.
And we need to stay focused. We need to really stay focused.
And food is a coping mechanism, unfortunately, for a lot of people. And I think it's a lot worse for women, And it's such a double-edged sword. It really, it's like, man, it's a stress. It's a really big stress. But I'm telling you.
It's, I've said it many times, everything revolves around eating, no matter
It does.
what. Food.
Yes.
Our social life is all about eating.
Right.
So you change your own social circle when you start eating cleaner.
Right.
You can't help it.
Right. I'd prepared my husband because we're planning on a trip to the beach in October. And I said, I'm going to be on a master fast then. Just FYI. Because nobody likes to go out to eat with somebody master fasting because I can't even have a glass of water. That was always the running joke. Well, can I bring you water? No, I don't drink water. What? Like, don't worry. But
you can't live without water.
You just take your grape juice everywhere.
Exactly. We can thrive. We can't live. We can thrive without water.
Right. But it doesn't make me uncomfortable to go out to eat master fasting, but it makes the rest of the people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm not suffering. I'm not missing out. I can still enjoy the social aspect. Not hard.
Yeah, like most of the people in society believe you'll be dead without water in 3 days. They really believe that.
Because it's what we're told.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the things that was so crazy to wrap my head around. And that was the one thing I craved on the master fast was water. And I think it's because I made it a habit. I was a lifelong water drinker. I didn't drink the soda and the juice and the this and that. I drank water. And I drank a ton of it, like a gallon a day.
Wow. Yeah, I was there. Been there. 4 or 5 quarts a day. I've done it.
Right. And
We're
so,
still never done.
right. So, of course, that pushed me into being further dehydrated. But I think my body or brain or whatever was just used to constant water. And that's what I would crave, a big old tall ice cold glass of water with lemon. I'm like, man, I don't care about food, but I would love some water right now. And it's so crazy. It's so crazy because you learn that you really can deal with not having it. It's okay. You don't have to have it. But that was one of the hardest things for me to wrap my head around. Water's bad? What? What? Bad? No, water's good. That's good for you. No, it's not. No, it's not. As much water as I was drinking, I should have been doing better than I was. I should have flushed out something, right? If it was so good for me.
And that was the huge revelation that smashed all the belief systems of what we've been told. Get rid of the water. There's not many people teaching that.
Oh, of course not. But it's amazing. It's life transforming. I mean, it really is. Usually.
So, how much juice were you drinking on the fast per day?
Usually, okay. When I fill this up, it's 4 cups. And this is my Master Fast juice cup specifically. So this holds 4 cups of juice, and I would squeeze 1 lemon into it. And I would usually drink probably maybe 2 a day.
Okay.
I suspect, sometimes less, I suspect I'll be going less next go round. I just think my body will be more used to, because in the beginning, I really went heavy with it.
Yeah.
And I was doing closer to 3.
Yeah.
But there's something psychological too, I think, with all that. And having to get used to the dry fasting, and it's just so funny. But I feel like I'll be doing less next go round because my brain has adjusted and my body has adjusted, and trying to keep the least amount.
It happens when people start. They want to drink more, which is okay. It flushes out the GI tract of the back of food, and then you start noticing if you listen to your body, you won't want as much, and that's okay because you listen to your body is the way to go. You never force.
It's very filling. It's very filling. Like you can only really, at some point, you cannot drink too much, especially after a dry fast.
Right.
A little bit is more than enough, and then you slowly start drinking.
How much tea did you drink? Kidney tea per day?
Usually about 2 cups. And the way I did that, the tinctures were my initial struggle because they are potent. Because I have your tinctures. They're very potent. So I would make my tea and I would get out 2 mugs for my 2 doses of my tinctures. I would get all my tinctures set up. I would take the tea and I would put, 3 tablespoons of tea in each cup, just enough to get the alcohol boiled off. And then I would split my tea up into 2, larger cups to drink when I did my tinctures. And I would just slam the cup that had the tincture in it. Because I'm like, I don't like this. Because the first time I put it in my whole tea, I'm like, man, I got to drink this whole tea. I don't like it. But you know what? I acclimated a lot to those tinctures. And I probably could drink it in the tea now.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as bad. I don't like the tea either, though, because it's got lavender. Well, also, from the South, we put so much sugar in our sweet tea that it's like syrup. So that's tea for me. But so drinking tea that has no sweetener in it whatsoever is a little strange. And then on top of that, the lavender. I'm not crazy. I'm one of those weird people. I don't care for the smell of lavender. I use the oil a lot because it's great, but I don't like the smell of it. I don't like the taste of it. But I acclimated with all that over time too. I mean,
your body will get used to anything. You could sweeten it with honey or maple syrup.
I contemplated that, but I would wind up putting so much in it that it would not be smart. No, I'm like, I can't do that. Can't do that.
I take the tinctures as a shot. I don't like to put it in the tea because, again, like you said, it's a big mug, right?
Right.
I prefer to have them as a shot, and then I whatever close my eyes and just drink them quickly, and then it's over.
Right. Well,
And
that's the beautiful thing about tinctures is you can get them down fast.
yeah. The nice thing about tinctures, you will love them when you're dry fasting. When you're dry fasting, that's when I fall in love with them. I start appreciating them more. When I'm drinking, it's just one more thing.
See, and I never made it long enough into a dry fast to need tinctures because the longest I went was 66 hours. And
I always took it on a dry fast. I just like to take them.
It's an option. You don't need to take them.
Yeah.
It helps people build a little bit of confidence.
Even if it's 24 hours, I still take them. But take them.
They're very. Yeah, but I love all the herbs. The more bitter, it doesn't all of them. I love all the flavors, and you get accustomed to them once you've been using them for years. Your body starts to crave them. Actually.
Oh, I'm sure. I believe that. I'm gonna turn my light on real quick. Yes, I believe that for sure.
If we go around the world, the globe, and you look at all the different cultures and so on and so forth, humans eat everything. Anything that moves, anything that doesn't move, they eat. Like I'm talking insects, animals, plants, whatever. So you can get accustomed to eat anything. That your taste buds will change. If your mother was eating certain things, you're going to be eating those things, and that's what you grew up with, and that's what you're going to like. It's the way it is, whether it's species specific or not. This is the way it works.
Well, and see, that's what I'm excited. Like when I look down the line, I can't wait to see what I'm going to be like in a year and in 2 years and in 3 years, because I'm going to be different. I'm going to look different. I'm going to be different on the inside. My taste will have changed, everything, because it's a continual process. Like you said, 7 to 9 years is such a long time. And I just started this journey in December. I'm a baby. I'm brand new to this. And it's radically changed my world so much already. It's really interesting, though, to think down the line, how am I going to be? What am I going to be doing? When am I going to hit that? Oh, I did a 12-day dry fast. When's that going to happen? Like
your wish is your command. Write it down.
Right. Yes, you're right about that. You are right about that.
So that's all your intent and emotion. You direct it, and it will be. No ifs, ands, or buts. Anybody tells you anything else, that's their belief system, not yours.
Right. Well, and I've been preaching to my mom lately when she says, well, I'm going to try. And I steal one of yours and I say, don't be a trier, be a doer. Don't try, just do. And it's so true, but you get in this mentality of I'll try. Well, if you try, you're guaranteeing that you're not going to succeed.
Exactly. I've never seen anybody succeed trying anything. Never.
Right. Makes sense. But that's another thing we're taught.
Maybe she can do a shorter one just to see how she feels, because many people are surprised when they find out that they are full and satisfied on the juice.
Right.
So.
Well, and I had started slipping her the juice because she gets all these chronic UTIs, and of course her doctor wants her drinking water all the time.
It just makes everything worse.
Right. It's ironic. And she has trouble with dehydration and with sodium levels, and it's like, knowing what I know now, it's like, okay, people. But I would get her, and I would put an entire lemon in the portion, like the 1.5 cups of juice, because you cannot taste, I don't care how much lemon you put in this grape juice, you cannot taste it. She hates lemon. She doesn't want lemon in her tea, in her water, anything. But I wanted the lemon in her system to help with her urinary tract,
Yeah.
And, I would make it up for her, and she would be just fine. But of course, she would want. And I got her doing fruit or smoothies for breakfast every day. And she's a bacon, eggs, and bagels and all that kind of girl. So,
Wow.
But it's just hard because she's 70 and she's not super motivated to change and to be better.
Yeah, it's a challenge working with the older people, But hey, some people it doesn't matter. There's some people up in the age, and they've done these cleanses. So you never know. You just never know what can change them. Like you said with your husband, he's planning on doing a master fast, and you would never have thought.
No.
Never.
No.
You never know. Your field affects anybody you come in contact with, and it's affecting them, and they're taking that in on the soul level, not in physicality. This is where everybody's looking at physicality, which means nothing. It's on the soul level it's happening, and your soul is picking all that up, whether consciously they're seeing it or not. That's why so many people that have gone, I've talked about this before, that lost so much weight on mass fast, they're getting attacked from people. But on the soul level, their soul is picking up what's going on, but they're just shooting out garbage because of their fear.
Right.
So, mass fast has nothing to do with physicality. Nothing at all. So this is only temporal, what we're doing here. And, we're here to serve, and we're here to learn. So let's make the best of it. Why do we want to go through life through pain and suffering when you don't have to? We have choices.
Exactly. And that's what I tell my mother. I'm like, I would fight. If I were in your position, I would fight like a caged animal. I said, Mom, it's not hard. You know me. You've known me my whole life.
Yeah.
I eat. I said, have you one time, this whole time, heard me say, I'm hungry, I'm miserable, I hate this is terrible? No. Easy, Mom. I promise it's easy. It's so easy.
Yeah.
It's all between the ears.
We got Martin in Germany. He's coming up to about a year. Hey, life or death. Choose one.
Wow.
So we've broken through all the illusions. It's all mind. It's all your intent and emotion. The mind is the one that plays the games. It's all the intent and emotion. The mind is the one we need to go, get out of here. You're in the way.
Right. Well, that's so true. It really is. I mean, if I had listened to doctors, if I had gone to the doctor and said, hey, I'm fat and I have chest pain, what should I do? What do you think they're going to tell me to do? Probably tell me to eat meat, because I'm never going to get anywhere not eating meat, because you have to have meat. How do you live without that? Drink plenty of water and eat meat and, have weight loss surgery. They would never have steered me in this direction. They never would have told me to do any of the stuff laid out in Master Fast. And this is what's saving my life, changing my life, and making me such a different person.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Do you notice a lot of fears gone away? You have more confidence in speaking your mind and so on and so forth?
Yes. And some of it, I know it's just the emotional things that happen while you're on Master Fast, but you also really have to get comfortable kind of a little bit with being attacked and misunderstood and people, wanting to save you from yourself and this crazy thing that you're doing. And you have to get comfortable in, this is right, this is what I'm doing, and I feel good about it. And I'm sorry that you don't feel good about it. I'm sorry that you're nervous about this. But nobody was ever worried about me when I was sucking down a pound of icing.
Unreal, isn't it?
That's when somebody should have been like, hey, stupid, don't do that. Nobody's fussing then. Nobody's fussing then.
Everything is backwards. Whatever everybody else is doing, do the opposite. You're going the right way.
It's true. It's so stinking true. And it's hard. Even and I want to say one other thing that I was thinking about earlier today. I made a lot of changes, I guess, starting about 7 years ago, because I got pregnant about almost 7 years ago. And you start thinking about more things. So I switched over to natural everything, ditched the perfume and slowly ditched the chemical cleaners, the chemical detergents, the chemical this, chemical that. It is so easy to give all that stuff up. Mm-hmm. And I sat being fat and unhealthy, eating all this junk. Isn't that kind of an irony? Like, I'm willing to change to coconut oil instead of lotion, and I'm willing to change to Dr. Bronner soap instead of Suave soap, and I'm willing to switch over to these natural cleaning products instead of the harsh ones. And that's only on my outside. Why is it so hard to let go? I mean, it's all toxic stuff, but really so crazy that it's so hard in your head to get off the toxic junk you're putting inside your body.
Yeah, we are corporate slaves. We're bombarded with advertisement left, right, and center everywhere we go. And most people are corporate slaves. They're buying all these corporate things that you never need. You know, for cleaning products, you can make your own with lemon, baking soda. You can do so much. Vinegar.
Oh, yeah.
Cheap.
Absolutely. We have vinegar. We have 2 or 3 gallons of vinegar around the house, just white distilled vinegar. We have so many gigantic boxes of baking soda. I keep a tiny one in the kitchen for internal use for my stuff, but I go through the baking soda with everything else for detox baths, for cleaning stuff, for stuck on grime. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Don't need the chemicals.
We need to change everything from A to Z. Everything. We got to get away completely from all that facade stuff that you don't need, which only harms us. It only harms us.
Right. Absolutely. It's scary. It is really scary.
Anything else that you want to share? If anybody has any questions for you.
I want to add one more thing. The second master fast I found, I did 78 days. The first one was 108, and the second one was 78. And I have to say that although I lost the same amount of weight, I had much less criticism. And also, not only that, but because, you know, the family got used to it, right? Because they saw that I was fine. I did 108 and I, you know, came out of it and I'm just doing another one, you know? So they stopped criticizing, and that's what hurts the most, usually, the family.
Yeah.
But also, I think, like you said, you want to learn how to react or like how to respond. So,
Right.
like you want to learn how to be positive when you respond to it, because you don't want to feel attacked. That's for sure, right?
Right.
And yeah, it's it was much easier. Yeah.
That makes sense to me. I mean, that was what was so exciting to me about finishing this first one. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm really ready for the next one, because I really do think you're going to be so much more successful the second go round, because you step into it knowing what 108 days is like. So day one is really day 109, technically.
And actually, I made a promise to myself in the second one that I will work out every single day until I can't work out, and then I will stop. Right? It means which means that I don't have any more energy. So
Right.
I did it for 78 days. I wanted to do 108, but the only reason I stopped was because I took some very strong herbs. I had to eat, but I pushed it with the detox. But yeah, it was so easy for me. So easy to do the massive fast.
It's easier than anything else. It's easier than eating, and that's why I really didn't want to break, because I thought this is so simple.
Yeah.
You know, the thing that makes it difficult is it takes enough pre-planning, because you have to have your herbs and your tinctures, your tea. You have to have everything. Now, if you're just eating fruit, you can wake up and leave the house and just run by the farmer's market and grab yourself some apples or whatever else, and you don't have to worry about when I've got to make this tea and I've got to have these tinctures. And I never made my tea in bulk. I might play around with doing that. I always made it every day. So that sometimes would get me in a funk if I was in a time constraint and I had to make the tea and get the tinctures ready. And, you know, I think there are ways I can handle that next time that'll be easier on me.
It's very simple. If you do the tea at the either end of your drinking window, at the start and the end, with your tinctures, right? And then you do I do the tea and the tinctures first thing.
Right.
And then I do my pudding, 20 minutes later, so.
Right.
And start sipping. And you only need to bring your juice with you. And then at the end of the day, with your drinking window, you do your tea and your tinctures again. But if you're not going to be home, you can have that ready in a jar or something, ready to go. It's very simple when you plan it out.
It's
Right. But the reason I had to get it all done at once is because I'm doing everything for the 3-year-old, 5-year-old, and the 70-year-old.
Right.
So I can't get to nighttime is one of my busiest times, and it would be 8 o'clock before I would know it. And I don't have time to stop and make stuff. I would need to have it ready to go. And I preferred all that stuff cold anyway. So I would put it in the fridge in the morning, and at night I would just pull my tinctures out, pull my tea out, and drink it and keep on flowing with life. Because I stuck to that 8 p.m. cutoff very, very well, because that was just, that's how it worked for me.
Yeah.
It would be in my head 8 p.m. to noon, 8 p.m. to noon, 8 p.m. to noon. It just, that was a beautiful thing.
Everybody's got to find their balance of the hours and so on and so forth.
Right.
Make it work for them.
Yeah.
So anybody have any questions for Ashley? You got any in the chat?
I don't see questions for Ashley, but well, Jordan was saying that I think you were talking about earlier with Marla about the uterus and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was saying they want to take my gallbladder, and he told them no. So the problem is still not fixed, but he's working on it, and he doesn't have any more attacks from being on the master fast. It's totally stable now, and he's at day 103.
Jordan.
Jordan, I think. Jordan.
Oh, Jordan. Okay. Yeah, you got to keep at it, Jordan.
It's amazing.
It's if it's not solved now, it's a severe issue, and you know, just keep at it. Maybe you want to go longer. I don't know. It's up to you. What other option is there? Get it removed? Come on. Another vital part of the body being taken out and paying somebody's mortgage is crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
Somebody's asking, is water kefir allowed on the master fast?
Water kefir. Not necessary, Dad. You're only going to take away from the fast. The body has everything it needs. We have more than enough to keep us going on the fast. Adding anything else is only the mind thinking that it knows better. You know, I've made it so we have absolute minimum to keep us going and going and going. And basically, you can live on it if you really want to for a long time. You know, we've shown that over and over by how many people have been on Master Fast now. We have over 50 people who've done 108 days.
That's it for now. I don't see any more questions.
Yeah, for Marla was you should watch. I don't know if you have Linda's testimonials last week. Yeah. She's a nurse, was a nurse, retired. Listen to Myron's interview. He's our superhero, one of our superheroes. He's gone. He's almost at about a year on Master Fast. 4 types of cancers, butchered to the hilt. He's 29 years old, I believe now, his age. And he's still going. He's a year later. He was in a wheelchair, chemo to death, ready to be transitioned to the other side. Amazing story if you listen to his interview. Amazing story. If anybody thinks they have issues, listen to Marin's interview. Our issues, our problems are nothing compared to what that poor soul went through. Nothing at all. Yeah. What do we got? We got another half an hour.
Yeah, Jordan is saying my body, he's going to stop at 108.
Yeah.
His body needs to rebuild. He's all the way down to 159 pounds.
Big boy. He started off big boy.
Yeah. My strength is low. is low, and he will start another one in winter.
Yeah, that's fine, Jordan. You know, it's 108 days is a long time, and that's good. The main thing now is to stay really focused, really focused. And we have, you know, many options. The options were always there. We just spelled them out now. So people have all these options to continue because we don't want to go back to where we were. That's not good. You had gallbladder issues. There's, you know, things in your lifestyle that were not good to come to that problem. So stay focused and you know, be smart, be wise of the choices you make. We all fall down here and there, but for the first 30 days, be very, very careful. Listen to focus on those goals and do everything correct to bring the body back. You know, some people takes a few weeks, even a month before digestion, everything will pick up. Some people, digestion will come on right away. So don't be worried about all that. You might be uncomfortable for a few weeks, or not. Like, don't expect anything, but whatever comes, just ride with it. Just make sure the key for breaking the fast, as we say, is the first foods need to be foods that go through you the quickest. That's the key. You want things going through easy. That's how we want to break fast. Nothing to do with nutrition or all this other stuff. Foods that go through you the quickest to help sweep out all the stuff the fast is loosened up. That's the key of breaking a fast. And eat till you're satisfied. Not, you know, if it's one mango, 2, 3, 4 mango, whatever, a whole watermelon, just eat till you're satisfied. Don't force, listen to your body, because you're gonna. A lot of people, they want to eat everything and anything, but you're not hungry. The funny thing is, you're not hungry. Ask everybody who's broken a fast.
And nothing is going to satisfy you.
We're eating, but we're not hungry. Yeah, nothing satisfies. So you have to be careful to, you know, listen to yourself when you feel saturated. One key that I love to do, I love to eat standing up.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting down, you overeat. Standing up, it's harder to overeat because you'll feel the sensations much better.
Yeah.
I don't see animals eating sitting down. Only humans do that.
Yeah, so he goes to the kitchen, he just drops some vegetables and eats maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then he sits down and he's done, you know?
You go in the garden, go eat out of the garden, standing up.
When you're sitting down, you get full, and then you wait for a bit, and then you eat again, and then you feel full. So it's not the same when you're standing.
Yeah. If you guys make that one change, if you haven't already done that, eating standing, and keep that habit, you'll see your eating habit will be different. It'll change. Yeah. I've done that for years, eating standing up. In my kitchen, honestly, the table and chairs, very, very rare. I'd be sitting down and eating a meal. Very rare. Very rare. With people, once in a while, but it's a rare thing for me to sit down and eat. So like I say, change everything from A to Z. Change the time you eat, change the way you eat, change the time you go to sleep, change the time, everything. Just change everything. Change the direction of your bed in your room. Change everything. You don't want to go back. You don't want to go back. You want to be a new you. Because you are a new you. You went through a metamorphosis, 108 days or however long you've been, you know, 40, 60, whatever days. And for those who want to start off on the lighter paths, if you don't have any serious issues, yeah, you can, you know, indulge in all the different ones we've come up with, and 9 days on, 18 days off, or 6, 7 days on, 1 or 2 days off. We have so many options that I posted. It's also on the protocol. So we have all those choices, and the dry fasting thing is got to keep that going. Keep it going. Keep it going. That's your reset. That's key. But if you have any severe issues, I highly, highly, highly recommend you do 108 days. You know, you need that. You need that massive terrain cleanup. to start making the change for the body to go back to balance. We really need that. 40 days is okay, but what I find is people who do 40 days, the GI tract is still trying to dump all this stuff, and they continue eating. They're still releasing plaque for weeks, even eating, because everything's been loosened up, and it's not the greatest thing in my opinion. I'd rather get out most of the heavy stuff, and so we can get into the deep interstitial areas where really all the genetic issues lie in the physicality. And once we get to that, we see magic starting to happen. All kinds of things. When we start getting to the deep layers, we see spine straightening out and tumors disappearing, eyesight getting better, hair growing better, skin getting better, legs straightening out, colons from prolapse being, brought up, scar tissues going away. We see all kinds of magic happening, all kinds. We've had so many. It's like sometimes every day somebody's posting kind of miracles happening. Most people miss it, but if you pay attention, you'll see all the little miracles people are posting. And some people that are posted don't even see it's a miracle. But you pay attention, you'll see their miracles. Lots of them all the time. Believe it or not. Anything else?
Yeah, Jordan is saying that he's having another ultrasound soon. He's saying it's possible his gallbladder has cleared up, and he will update us on Wednesday. And he hasn't had any ultrasounds since he started, and he lost 70 pounds.
It's a lot of weight.
Yes.
It's another person.
The beginning. 124.
So yeah, I'd be surprised if it's, mostly not cleared out after that long, Jordan. But I don't know what your whole lifestyle was before and everything, so on and so forth. But when you're that big with all that weight, you have a lot of obstructions, and that's what we're working to clear. So 108 days is a great start to open those doors, keep things moving. Because now that you go back to eating, to keep it clean, you're going to keep cleaning. For a few months, things are going to still keep going. You may still lose weight. Don't worry about it. A few people still continue to lose weight after they start eating, and that's okay. The body's still cleaning.
Stephanie's saying, she says she has sinus infection. Stephanie Ali. So I took tea with tinctures last night. I noticed some small tea particles made it through the strainer, and she's asking if this affects digestion during the master fast.
You're going to get microparticles, and that's not really a big deal because they're cooked to death. And when things are cooked in those small particles, it's not a big issue. Like even the juice, even though they filter and all that, you're still going to get something. But we're trying to keep it as minimum as possibly can, right? This is the key. The more we introduce digestion, the more we take away from the fast. So this is why we're very careful of not introducing any dried herbs or anything like that into the system, so on and so forth. We're using things that they're non-digestible in the pudding. So the process of it going through the GI tract is minimal, and it's there for its purpose. It's a very important purpose to help draw and take in the toxins and chemicals and waste and so on and so forth into itself, and all the parasites, microorganisms that are not supposed to be there. So it's a very, very important part of the master fast plasma pudding. And at the same time, it's working in the gravitational magnetic field of the actual charcoal, which is amazing, amazing, amazing. That's why we share about the burn stick. It's a little simple tool, and burn the end. And we had people having testimonials on that, was it somebody just posted yesterday? He had a problem in his neck, he could barely move, and after, I don't remember what he said, it was maybe 10 or 30 minutes, he was able to move his neck using the burn stick. Simple tool. So we have a lot of tools, And when you're going through major challenges of healing reactions, sometimes we go blank of what to do. So it's good to make notes for yourself so you understand what tools you can use for any situation. Number one is always enema. Well, no matter who, what, where, when, why, grab the enema bag. First thing, doesn't matter what it is, emotional, physical pains, that's breathing issues. You know, I can always breathe much better when I don't eat, much better. When you eat, and especially when you overeat, it's a problem for breathing properly. So if anybody's got breathing issues, you gotta stay away from food. Colon is the third lung.
I don't see anymore.
All right, well, it's amazing that you've shared your time and your experience, Ashley. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Stay focused.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, I cannot say it enough. I'm so thankful that you've done all the work to get to a point where you had a master fast system to share, and that you selflessly give and give and give and give and give and give. And I love that you're straight, you're direct, you're real. I mean, I just can't tell you how many times, even seeing what you tell other people helps me out so much, you know?
Yeah, this is key. That's why I preach we need to share the good, the bad, and the ugly, the beautiful. We'll put that in there. Because we're all going to learn that way, and this is why we keep expanding and expanding and expanding. It's from all our experiences. There's no two alike, and we've learned so much in this since I started sharing it. Oh, so much. We've been able to expand and keep it going.
Yeah.
It's amazing, amazing, amazing. The support system is crucial.
Yeah.
On the board. It's crucial. Like somebody mentioned that we should have a master fast buddy. Link with somebody, and anybody. Pick somebody that you can resonate with, and you hold it. You share everything. Bang, bang, bang. You use the board, everything, but if you call each other, whatever. A master fast buddy.
That's smart. I like it.
Yes, I can't remember who posted it. It was a good idea.
Yeah.
But the board is there. 24 hours. Somebody we have be able to help. Always round the clock. Because out there, the stories we hear from people, my goodness, we're trying to get healthy, and we're being attacked and this and that, and police are being called on us. It's crazy, crazy.
So insane. Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad.
It's just the level of ignorance out there.
Oh my goodness.
Like it's just, it's unreal. I don't know. I've been through quite a bit with my family over the years, but they got used to it after a while.
26.
They figured, oh, this guy ain't changing. Let's leave him alone. So, it's great. Just stay focused, Ashley. You're doing great. Don't worry about falling off a little. If you're going to cheat, bake beets, baked sweet potato, some stewed spinach, whatever. Yeah, this is the key. These are my cheats. Grains, that's the one thing that really is a big issue. You really want to stay away from grains.
I'm scared of grains. Because I think I was having issues. You said that I posted an eye picture. It wasn't a good one. But one of the things you said was leaky gut. I already assumed. For a long time, I suspected that grains in general were not good news for me. And it's sad because as an American, you usually have them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's the staple of your meal 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So yes, I know beyond any shadow of a doubt, grains are no good for me.
Yeah.
Or anybody else.
Dairy is the absolute worst, and then right behind it, I believe, is grains. even over above the protein stuff, because as you said, it's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for most people. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And they're so addictive, you know.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit, if somebody goes back to a little bit of fish or meat every occasionally, they'll be fine as long as they stay away from that daily grain intake. They'll be fine, and keep the main diet clean, mostly fruit.
Right.
But if you know the picture perfect scenario is what Linda's doing. You know, mono fruit eating. That's it. You know, that's ideal. Not everybody will be able to get to that, and that's okay. It's not for everybody, but that's where we want to strive to go to. Even if it's you try it out for a few weeks and see how you do on it before you indulge in other stuff. But
yeah, even if you take a few years to get into that, at least work aim towards it.
Yeah, that's really the key. If you get into the mono eating one meal a day, that's amazing. That really is amazing. So we just strive and do the best we can. That's all we can do.
I have a question. Yeah. So what are the top ways to bring up the adrenal? This is from Chris. Also, what is your take on doing weights, light weights, when the body feels like it on the 108 days? He went from 155 to 122 fruit and herbs only.
Yeah. Adrenals, yeah. Suck on licorice, Chris. Licorice is really we got that licorice candy, the pure one. Most of it's made in Italy. It's an extract, so it won't promote digestion. This is one company.
We have it on the website.
Yeah, we have it on a link on the website. Italy's famous. You find it everywhere in Italy. Everywhere. So yeah, if you have high blood pressure, you're going to have to be careful. It will bring up your blood pressure. And for most people, when they get on the fast, the blood pressure goes way down. So just suck on those 1 or 2, 3 times a day. See how it goes. Monitor your blood pressure. To some people, it shoots it up easier than others when they take it. I know when I was in Italy, I was overdoing it, and my blood pressure went on the slightly high side. I've never had high blood pressure, but I was sucking on so much. I was getting the licorice infused alcohol and candies and other things, and holy jeez, if you overdo it, it will bring up your blood pressure for sure. So that'll help your adrenals because it helps the the adrenal, the half-life. It doubles the half-life of the chemical the adrenals make. I can't remember what the name of it was. But yeah, licorice is one great thing. And massage those kidneys deep every day with the burn stick. Breath work for sure.
Formulas as well.
Yeah, the tinctures, that we have, the minimum we need, with gland formulas and so on and so forth. What was the other thing? The weight training. If you're, we're teaching that we don't want you to be bedridden on a fast. We want you to move. Everybody else is saying, you got to be bedridden, you shouldn't do this. No, you got to move. Heavy training, no. Unless your kidneys are really filtering well and you have the energy, it's fine. But you said, do some light weights. If you feel like if you have the energy and your kidneys are filtering, I don't see an issue. But make sure if you don't have any experience fasting that, the dizziness things, we got a few people that crack their heads open. Guys, one thing, if you're new to fasting, you may get dizzy. You may feel lightheaded, you're gonna faint or whatever. These are things that inexperienced fasters will be scared shitless of. And there's no need to be when you understand what's happening. It takes time, and after you fast for a long time, it goes much, much less. Like now, I'll get a little dizzy thing or kind of thing. You just get your finger crouch down, sit down, and just hold. And breathe, and it'll clear up. You have to know this. We don't want more people cracking their heads open, fainting and stuff. And usually, it's when you're about to have a release of severe plaque full of toxins. Because you go do that enema and stuff, it's like a huge relief and a burst of energy that comes through you when you release this stuff. Because it's so toxic. You know, yeah, it's pudding coming out, sure. That's why you get this amazing feeling when you released it. So, you know, these are things that we need to really pay attention on. I've heard that like 3-4 people crack their heads open. It's not cool, not cool. You need to know and be confident that it's okay that you get these feelings and know what to do. You're not going to die. You're not going to die. If you hit your head somewhere, you might. And we don't want to see that. So this is the first thing, start breathing. And just firmly press and don't let go. It works. It's an acupressure point. I learned this from an old Chinese acupressure doctor years ago when I was bedridden. I was getting some acupressure done, and I was about to go faint. He goes, "Put your finger over there, no more." And that's how I learned that one. So
breath work as well is very important.
Yeah, the breath work. So, you know, there's so many things like the chart and all the acupressure points. Any issues you're having, breathing, this, that, dizziness, we have a lot of points. This is a simple one everybody can remember, and it really works. It's very effective. But I showed the one below the knee. They call it the 1,000-point junction or something on the right, on the outside of the knees. I do that one, you know, try and do that one daily. Behind the cerebellum is good. Kidneys for sure. You know, these ones, you know, if you do a few of them daily, you'll see your energy flows better with breath work and keeps things moving. Because that's the issue about fasting, is if you get into stagnation, that's when you get dizzy and you don't feel good and everything. You need to keep energy moving. That's why we say do enemas every day. They will only help you. They will only help you. Yeah, even if your bowels move, do an enema. And if you get a column aboard, even better, because you're going to wash out those toxins more effectively than just a few bags of enema. And it's going to take you less time. I can do a 5-gallon pail, which is about 18, 19 liters, in about 45 minutes. To do that with enema bags, I'll be there all day. You're not going to be able to do 5 gallons enema bag. It's too uncomfortable. Call him aboard, lie down. You buy it once, you're done. When you go travel, bring your enema bag. Never leave without it. Always bring an enema bag when you travel. And some baking soda, because you may not find wherever you're going a bag of baking soda in your luggage. That'll be lifesaver.
Dan is asking, will your body become dependent on enemas?
Absolutely not. It actually gets stronger. Ask anybody who's done 108 days. The bowels are way stronger. And I'm talking about people with chronic constipation, prolapsed colons, blah, 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 blah. Every single one got stronger colons. We have a few people on here that can vouch for that.
Yeah, even if you do daily enemas. I do weekly colonics, and yeah, no,
it's a complete
it's a very, I release
bull crap that enemas and colonics make your bowels weaker. Think about a muscle. Your colon is a muscle. What happens when you work a muscle with weight? It gets stronger. So we're exercising the colon, and the weight is the water. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's only going to help you in every which way.
Yeah.
A lot of people are against them. We're showing the results that nobody else is showing.
Yeah, and just also see what comes out if you do colonics and enemas. If nothing comes out, don't do them.
No, you need to do them.
Really,
You need to continue to do them, because even though you don't see things that you're expecting, you're getting things out. Emotion, which has no physicality, it's going to be pulled into the water. Water holds memory. You're going to have microorganisms, the pathogens that we can't see, and parasites and so on and so forth. And you may not think that anything's coming out. Believe me, things are coming out.
Yeah, I'm saying that because as a colon hydrotherapist, I've never seen anybody who does not release it. The only people who don't release properly are those who are blocked. They cannot release. They need more and more and more colons before they start flushing, before they start releasing. But there's nobody I have done colonics on who is clean. Nobody's clean, like completely clean. Even like when I do 6 days of master fast and then I eat one day and then I do a colonic the next day, I have tons of waste coming out just from one day of eating. So I can imagine, I would say maybe only breatharians wouldn't release, would be super clean. But
It's hard. It's difficult to comprehend how much
waste
our body backs up by eating. It's just forget about trying to think about it. 108 days, people are still unloading. You know, from the small amount of psyllium we're doing, it's not comprehensible. It's just not, and don't even worry about it. Let people believe what they want. Every release brings relief and one step closer to the body going to balance and healing itself. Because every time those releases come, magic starts happening. Spine starts straightening out, tumors start shrinking, and so on and so forth. Nails getting stronger. It's pay attention. Pay attention what people write. You will see.
Jordan is saying my bowels haven't improved at day 103. They haven't gotten weaker neither, but
you'll see when you start eating, Jordan.
Yeah,
you'll see.
Yeah, because you don't have too much fiber.
Yeah, everything changes when you start eating. Everybody's, I don't know if you paid attention, but a lot of people posted they're going to the bathroom 4, 5, 6 times a day and their bowels never working better. So you be ready for your bowels. When they kick in, they're going to kick in and you're going to be going to the canal. As long as you stay clean eating, mostly fruit, you're gonna be surprised on how good the bowels start working. We've had some pretty chronic bowel cases. All their bowel function completely restored after 108 days.
Yeah, and Jordan, you're saying that with colonics it takes you a while to release. Yeah, that's because it's blocked.
It's all dry, very impacted within the walls of the colon, and it's because of the interstitial dehydration. So it's just cemented in there. So we need to keep flushing and flushing for it to soak up some of that fluid water and so on and so forth. Eventually it starts loosening up. But the key is cellular hydration through what we're teaching, as you've experienced through your scale that measures hydration. You mentioned in one of your posts, your hydration went up a certain percentage, and you've never seen nobody at that level or something like that. You wrote, this is normal when you start hydrating the body. These things happen.
Yeah, he says from 47 to 60%.
Wow. Yeah.
Increase. Yeah. Malini is asking. She says
that's with no water.
On day 3, her bowel movements aren't very spectacular. Twice she's on day 3. I have relieved round balls of matter. The ball would just fall out, almost the size of a tennis ball. I felt like I was laying.
My goodness, so you're pretty blocked up. You're pretty blocked up. So yeah.
Long mucoid, long staff.
It doesn't matter the shape or anything. Just get it out.
It's still early. 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days. I'm glad you're releasing. Usually people we've seen from all the people, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. The majority of the stuff, the older stuff, starts coming out usually at a couple of weeks, and then it doesn't stop. Some people takes longer, and some people start a little bit earlier. But I'm talking about the old stuff. You'll know by the smell. That's how you'll know. It's the first time I did my 40-day fast. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. The smell was so pathetic. I had to open up all the windows and doors, and it just lingered and lingered and lingered. It was the most horrific stench from hell that I could remember. I'll never forget because it's ingrained in me. And then, like, that was my first 40-day fast. It was just coming off of a typical Italian grown-up diet. It was just, I don't know. I'm sure some of you experienced what I'm talking about. It's, I'm glad I got it out. Glad I got it out. But I ended up 2 years in bed after for not having any support and not knowing what I was doing. No internet. We live and learn.
That's 26 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Marla, you do some more reading. We got 2 files on testimonials. Listen to those 2 interviews at least from Linda last week and Marin's. And, only you can decide. It's nobody can force anybody else to do this, and nobody can do it for you. You have to have the trust and the faith that your body has everything it needs to repair itself and heal and find balance. My goodness, Gurdjieff, he's got paralysis, 80% returns function. That's unheard of. Neurological is one of the most challenging. We also have a few other neurological cases. We had Scott with severe feet problem. He's posted not too long ago, 99% restored. When you can restore neurological, cancer is a no-brainer. Upcoming Tuesday, we have the Kesh Spaceship Institute is having the cancer processing workshop. He's releasing information on how to process cancer with GANs, CO2. They've been doing a lot of research with lab mice and 100% success rate in every case. So we all agreed as a team behind the scenes to release it to the public freely. And the processing is, I think they're going to charge €1 for people who want to buy. They're going to be capsules, CO2 capsules that you take. And it happens fairly quickly. So cancer is a no-brainer. No-brainer when you understand what it is. The myths of cancer have been shed. We've broken through the veil of what cancer is and everything else. These are just words the medical establishment is used and trademarked, and if you use them, you have issues. So we don't go there. We don't want to use their words, because if you use their words, those words will own you. They will own you. Body sees imbalance and balance. That's all it can see. It's that simple. Anything else is mind games, and it's only going to lead you to confusion. We don't want to go there. We don't want to go there. It's too simple to heal. It's so simple. It's not easy, but the path to go is simple. You're going to have challenges along the way, bumps. You may feel like you're dying sometimes. But if you understand, you keep the faith, focus on your goals, use all the tools, you'll get through them. And you're going to come out way better on the other side. Way better. The fear that doctors put into people, they're going to be paying on a karmic level severely for what they do. because they are giving you a crock of shit. Sorry. They have no clue what they're talking about. None at all. And I can speak with confidence. They can have all the paper in the world backing them up. I have none. I only have the experience that I put this body through and all of us that went through it. That's all I go by. No paper here. No paper. The stuff they feed people should be illegal, because you tell somebody you got so many 3-6 months to live, that person believes it, and they're dead in 3 to 6 months. Intent and emotion is everything. Believe what you will. We'll leave it at that. We've done over the mark, over the 2 hours. And till next week, thank you all. Nice to see you again, Elena, and everyone else. Laura, and Radhika, Rebecca, and Connie, and me, and Chris, and Diane. We got a lot of people that showed up. Thank you all. MasterFast is what it is. I'm not MasterFast. MasterFast is its own entity, and it's there to help anybody who wants to use it. It's knowledge that we all share together. And it's become amazing, to be able to participate in people's healing journeys. It's the only thing that keeps me going, watching people's successes. One success of one person makes it all worth it. One person. That's all you need. And we've had that so many times, it just became overwhelming, because now it's like we're being numbed out to all the success stories of people. Yeah, people have challenges when they finish their 108 days. It's given. It's not the end. It's the beginning. The beginning of our metamorphosis, because then you start eating, you go through another metamorphosis. And then we plan our next one. Or we continue with many of the options we outlined. We just shared yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah. So there's many options. Keep it part of your life, and you'll see you're going to have a much more balanced life by eating less and keeping a cleansing part of your lifestyle. Never let go of the dry fast. That's your resets. And stay focused, folks. Stay focused. Nobody can do it for us. Can't spoon feed it to anybody. It becomes annoying. It becomes annoying, especially when you've done it. Like Ashley shared with us, now she's confident to go into her next one. You know what's going on. And, you may have surprises in your second one. Don't get me wrong. You may get surprises. Like Linda, she had the lung thing happen on her second one, not on her first. So you don't know. You don't know, because we start going into the deeper layers as we peel those onions. Once the doors open 108 days, they're wide open. Now we start seeing real magic happening as we continue to go down the roads into the depths of who knows where. So let's call it a night. And thank you guys again. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you, Ashley.
For your time. Lots of people you're going to help, just from what you've shared. Many people have similar issues, and they just don't know where to turn. We've had a few cases, people with lost tons of weight as a side effect from MasterFast. I don't remember the names off the top of my head, but we've had a few. It's a great side effect. We got Lisa on as well. I hope, Lisa, you're doing well. Awesome. You had some challenges, and that's okay. Now you understand. You're gaining that understanding. What we're trying to share. Don't be scared. Knowledge is power. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Bull crap that they put into us. Bull crap. Yeah, you're going to go through challenges. Embrace. Use the tools. Breath work. And we'll leave it at that.
Thank you.
We end another call. And thank you, everybody.
Love you.
Ashley. Until next time, stay focused. Stay focused. Stay focused. Ciao. Plasma love. Keep it flowing, folks. Keep it flowing.